The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Steve Murray here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. As you all know, our subject matter today with Dave Pimper is Social Security claiming and how to assist your clients in the process, how to build your business practice using Social Security claiming seminars as a kind of an entree into working with clients, exactly the clientele that you want to talk to. As I know I've mentioned in the past on these webinars and in speaking with some of our guys at our academies and in private is, there's no doubt that Social Security claiming seminars have been probably in terms of seminars that we have offered some of the most successful in terms of when efficiency of capital and conversion, return on investment, been very good. Plus, none of the folks that I've talked to that are doing the Social Security seminars have been unhappy at all with the fact that they're increasing their knowledge in an area that's very, very important to their customers and becoming more of an asset to their customers through their knowledge of the Social Security claiming and the best ways to claim and the ins and outs of helping their clients. So this is going to be a great webinar from that standpoint, something for you all to consider. Very positive information no matter what you decide to do going forward. Dave has been a great resource for us over the years. So I want to get moving here. A couple things that I'll mention as we get started is that there will be a poll or two that will pop up, and when those pop up, the sooner that we can get questions yay or nay, the better for everyone. If you have questions during the course of the event, which this is a webinar that generally draws some of those, just go ahead and type them in and hit send, and we'll try and get them asked and answered for the group. I will say that really some of the questions that we get on this are very, very specific, and better to ask those of Dave one-on-one, I think, but just general questions about whether it's seminars or some general Social Security questions are really very appropriate for Dave and for myself to try and help you with. So a couple things as we get started here. Of course, my name is Steve Murray, the Executive Vice President, which means absolutely nothing here at IAMS. What I am in charge of is kind of making sure that we've got you set up in terms of having the right training, the right incentives, the right products, and then the type of service that you deserve. And so that's kind of what I do here. And today, of course, is all about training and helping you build your business. So we're going to talk about that with Dave Pimper. Before we get started, I want to mention some programs. I'm going to run through these things pretty quick because I'm just looking at our attendees, and I know many of you are veterans with IAMS and know about these programs, but there are some new folks. So I'm just going to run through these quickly. If you have any questions, type them in. I'll get them answered. If you have any questions after the event, you can always call me at the office here. I'll be glad to chat with you regarding that as well. So these two programs we have, the RPM program and marketing reimbursement programs, are old, tried and true, great programs we've had for years and years that our advisors take a lot of advantage of. So the RPM program is simple. If you've got a colleague that you think might benefit from doing business with IAMS, you refer them our way. You kind of get an override from them on their business without it cost nothing out of their pockets. We basically pay you a bonus based on their business, and that goes on forever. As long as they're doing business, we pay that bonus. You don't have that liability that goes with being an agency owner or having sub-agents, so if there's any chargeback issues or things like that, you don't have to worry about any of that, but we do pay you a little ongoing spiff based on their business. Those are some of the bigger checks that we send out. We send them out quarterly, but literally thousands of dollars go out the door on RPM payouts every quarter. And there are a couple folks that we send them out monthly to, just because they're large enough sums. So there's actually benefit to you by referring colleagues to us. That's what we want it to be. We appreciate your referrals, and we'll say that over and over again. But there's something really concrete about the appreciation you feel when you get a check, and so we know that's true as well. So again, nothing out of your referee's pocket, money into yours from IAMS. So take advantage of that. Marketing reimbursement, we put money into your marketing reimbursement account, whatever business you do. There's some marketing reimbursement associated with that, and then we match your marketing spend dollar for dollar. You send us receipts, we send you checks. Simple program. If you have any questions on that program, give what your balance might be. If you're already doing business with us, call Chris Rommel here in our office. He works in accounting. He can tell you what your current balance is. For those of you that are just joining us and maybe just getting rolling with us, I see we have maybe a sound issue. Oh, good. Sounds like that's been improved. Okay, so for those of you just getting started, we have a new producer bonus program in place. You can see there the different levels that you can claim and the different things you can claim besides those offerings. And I'll point out a couple things to you specific to that, like at the 300,000 point level. There's Social Security program will get you the program, will get you the PowerPoint, and we'll get you your first mailing so that you can get started. So you can do that at 300,000 point level. If you get at the 500,000 point level, we'll do a larger mailing for you. We'll also get you the coaching with Dave, which that's really the way that you'd want to go on that. But we can get you started in that business and get you doing seminars at really no cost to you. But if you look at those things, you say, hey, I'd rather spend that new production bonus a different way. You and I can have a conversation. Glad to work with you on anything that you want to do, whether it's, obviously when you're doing things to help add to your business, we have a different outlook on that and are going to help you as much as we can. But if you just got an incentive thing that you want to do and you want to work with us on that, I'll be glad to have that conversation as well. Great back office support here. For those of you that have experienced it, I always get great feedback from our customers, on the back office and the work that we do there. So that's really important to us. We know it's important to you. That's never going away. We do some great work for you there. You put money, you put applications, it's going to be a full-on submission to commission and after assistance from our back office. So we take a lot of pride in that. We get a lot of great comments. If you haven't experienced it yet, give us a shot. Creative marketing, we do some great things there. I tell folks to think of this like their own personal advertising firm, and we're going to do a lot of that work for you pro bono because we know that helping you build your business in the end is what is going to help us grow our business. So we're going to help you any way that we can. We've got folks sitting in that department that's what they do all day long, is help people just like you so they can make some great suggestions. They put out a really great level of quality of materials for our guys to help them build their brand in their area, whether you're doing it digitally or in print or getting your website or getting your business cards and logos. There's a lot of things that we can do to help you there. So take advantage of our creative department. Jacob runs that, Jacob Tedlock. So call, again, 800-255-5055. Just ask for Jacob, or talk to your annuity sales director, life sales director, and say, hey, give me the ins and outs of that. How does it work? What can we do? Website, great stuff there. If you haven't looked at our website, you should. Soon we'll be having our single sign-on Firelight, EAP, so that all the companies that we do business with, you can just go there and if you do EAPs, you can access that all on the website. Soon, too, we'll be showing your business so that you can go in and see our commentary on getting your business through the system. That will soon be out there as well. So if you haven't looked at the website for what is on there now currently, please do. If you haven't registered, please register. If you need somebody to walk you through all of the resources that are out there right now, give your sales director a call and say, hey, take 15 minutes with me. Show me your website so I can take advantage of the things that can help me grow my business in the best and most efficient way. Retirement Analyzer is a nice little program. We've been talking about this. We've been with them for 10, 12 years now, and it's been a great little program that many of our producers have used and has generated literally millions of premium. Marcus Soler here in the office works with that. So if you've got situations where you're trying to help your client understand where they stand on their retirement journey and of course, it's a the better the information you put into it, the better the information you're going to get out for your client. But what you can do is show them graphically where their long falls are, where their shortfalls are in terms of their savings for what they're trying to accomplish in their retirement, and it really helps you become their go-to person for that, because it's full on. I mean, it's everything that they ever want to know, including incorporating Social Security and pensions and all their qualified funds, their non-qualified funds, their expenses in retirement, and it's all shown, as you can kind of see there, very graphic. So if you want to tap into that, we're doing that right now at no cost to our folks that do business with us. And even if you're just getting started with us and you haven't done business, but you want to have a look at it for a period of time, give Marcus a call. He'll give you a sign in, log in, so that you can take a look at it, see if it's going to be a good fit for you. Try it out, maybe run one on yourself just to see how it works, see if it's something you use. If you want to move away from, hey, I see you got 20,000 there, let's move that CD into an annuity, or hey, I think maybe you need some life insurance. If you want to get away from that to more of, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, I know what you're trying to do, I know what you what you fear, and I can help you kind of take it out of the realm of guesses and put it in the realm of certainties and numbers, and kind of put it in a very graphic form for you, where you're at and where you're going to be if you keep on the trail that you're at, maybe how you need to change your trail, and maybe you need to move away from risk now. We can kind of true up your risk tolerance with your current investments. That's what the Retirement Analyzer does. There's a full schedule of classes and everything that you would need to know to get very proficient at using that and being a real but super high value to your very important clients. That's what the Retirement Analyzer is all about, and we make it available to you right now at no cost. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. IAMS Wealth, I'm going to shoot up a quick poll. I know a number of you have let me know that there have been some audio problems. It sounds like we've got those all cleared up. If anyone is still having an audio problem, please let me know. I'm going to shoot up a quick poll here, and the poll is going to ask you whether you want somebody from IAMS Wealth Management to contact you. So here's, you can read as well as I can what's on the screen, but I can tell you from my experience where folks have said to me, hey, this IAMS Wealth has really been a great deal for me. So here's what they do well, maybe compared to the average RIA, and here's how they can help folks. So what we have heard from our insurance guys is that making that transition into the wealth management business it's not as easy as just, hey, I got my Series 65 and I'm ready to go. And so, we spend a lot of time working with advisors that maybe insurance was their primary or their only thing that they did, and now they want to get a 65. And then besides getting a 65, they need help making that transition, and how do they talk to clients about wealth management. So we're pretty good about that because that's our background, frankly. So that we can help you if that person is you. If on the other hand, maybe you've got an RIA and not happy with your payouts, we've been told over and over again that our overall cost efficiencies are very good, and so what we pass on to our advisors a little above average, so our payouts are pretty good. I know for a fact, because we've done a lot of research on this in terms of what we offer and the cost that we charge the advisors on the wealth management side. We're below average. They're notably below average, maybe too below average on our pricing given what we offer. So if you're not happy with what your payout is, or if you're unhappy with the fees that you're currently being charged by your current RIA, I would give Charles a call, let him walk you through that, or just put yes on this poll and Charles will give you a call and he can walk you through what we do and how we do it. What we, in our fees, things like your website are taken care of, things like social media monitoring are taken care of, things like your E&O are included in that. And when you put all that in that we charge for fees, we're really very low on that. We hear that over and over again. So if you're not happy from that standpoint, and finally, and probably long-term most importantly, we have the service model that we use for our RIA is very similar to the service model that we use for the insurance side of our business, which for folks that were unaccustomed to that just blows them away. They're not used to, on the security side of their business, getting the level of service and attention that IAMS Wealth provides. So if you're not happy, if you feel like you're kind of out on your own and anything that needs to be getting done, you're the one responsible for doing it, I think you'll probably be pleasantly surprised with what IAMS Wealth can do for you. So give them a shot. And I see most of you have voted, some have not. If for some reason you cannot vote and you would like to chat with Charles, certainly shoot me an email or just give me a call here at the office and I'll put you in touch with him. If any questions arise, in fact, let me just check and make sure before I move on that none have. Okay, so average payout to an advisor is just a little over 1%. So that question has arisen already, probably because of the way that I introed it. A little over 1% is what you can count on from your managed assets. And right now the fees run under $200 per month. I'll let Charles give you the exact details of that and what it all covers and what you get for that. You get a database, you get a website, you get your social media monitoring, you get an email address, you get your E&O coverage. So pretty pretty solid stuff that you get with that. So that gives you some basics, but I would much rather have you talk with Charles about the details of that, because I don't want to give you half information and you make any kind of a decision. So if you have a minute and want to chat with Charles, that's about a 5 to 7 minute conversation that you can have with him to make sure that everything's all on point for you there. So if you have interest, hit yes. If you don't, hit no. There's no doubt that there's so much interest right now with all the more recent information regarding, best interests and fiduciary responsibilities now starting to resurface. I know we thought we were going to get a vacation from that. It was going to last longer than 12 to 18 months, but it doesn't sound like that's the case. So there's enough good reason for folks that have interest in that there's plenty of folks to talk to. But if you want to be one of those folks, by all means, when people are already associated with IAMS, this conversation is much better, much easier for you and for us. So if we can help you with your wealth management stuff, just give us a call and let us help you. I'm going to close that poll out. Thank you all for voting so quickly. Appreciate that very much. And I'm going to get moving on here. We have a training actually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. And then the next one is probably going to be late summer, early fall. So if you're interested in coming in at our cost for one of our really 2.5-day training events, please, by all means, I'm going to give you a second to kind of read that stuff, and then I'm going to tell you again kind of what we do at those events. And then if you have interest in learning more about it, you'll want to hit yes on this poll. But our trainings are really within the industry been recognized by a lot of folks as some of the best out there. We don't talk a lot about product. We're going to get into product a little bit because we know that you need, but this is not annuities 101 or single premium life 101 or life insurance 101. This is more of a 202 level class where you come in, we talk more about the marketing, more about some sales approaches and things that you can do, some sales language that can help you when you're working with your clients. We're going to have, usually we have 4 top producers there. This one coming up, we'll only have 3 of them because one of them is going to be, just had a schedule conflict. But the next one coming up, we'll have 4 top producers there that will present you with some opportunities and ideas from Social Security claiming seminars to radio to product fits, great product fits for your current clientele to seminars, everything that you can think of to help grow your business. We'll have 4 top producers that will come and talk to you about that, which is kind of what I would call a centerpiece of the academy. But beyond that, you can see some of the other things that we talk about there. I'm going to launch that poll now. So we're going to take care of your expenses. We'll bring you on a Wednesday. We'll send you out on Friday. So whether you're driving and we're reimbursing you for mileage or we're arranging your flight for you, we're going to take care of your hotel. We're going to take care of your meals while you're there. So no small expense to us, as you can imagine. But we know that when we bring folks in and get them thinking about IAMS and how we do business and the benefits and the opportunities of doing business with IAMS, we got a pretty good chance, better than average chance, I would say, of converting and doing some great business together. And what that means to you is you're gonna see something there, learn something there that can make a difference to your business. And whether it's a seminar, or radio show, like I said, or just a sales idea, a little thing can make big differences in business. We talk about efficiencies in running your business. We talk about building a marketing foundation for your business. We talk about day-to-day marketing that you can do. We talk about databases. There's a lot of things that come into play that if you are in our business and you're looking to have a really strong foundational agency or business from which to build and expand, we can help you with that here at IAMS. We've been doing it for 30 to 33 plus years now. So we'd love to have you join us at one of our academies, learn more about that. If you hit yes on this poll, you're going to get an email, and the email is going to have 2 attachments. One of them is going to be a sample agenda, so you can see kind of hour by hour what we do. And then the other one is going to be a registration form. And if you send that registration form back, then as we have academies, we call you up when we say, hey, does this work for your schedule? Is this something that fits in with what you're looking to do? And we invite you in. Again, we're going to take care of your expenses with that. So what you're out is going to be the time. Yeah, that's no small thing. We know you're going to be out a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from your business. So if that's of interest, hit yes. If it's not of interest, if you've been in lately, please, by lately, I mean in the last 24 months, I would like you to put no and then give me a call. I certainly understand if you want to come back in and we can make that happen, but I'd rather have that be a conversation between you and I. And you don't need, you know what the agenda looks like pretty much. You don't need it to know any of those other details. So we can do that via conversation between yourself and myself, or yourself and one of our annuity sales directors. So I'm going to ask you all to make your votes here quickly because I do want to get moving on. So I'm going to close that poll out in about 30 seconds here. If you can vote for me, that would be very helpful. And a couple things that I will mention as you are making that final decision. One of the things that everybody says as they're walking out the doors, that's a lot of information in a short period of time. Wish we had more time. We're going to be efficient and make your time in chock full. You'll leave with the full PowerPoints from the meetings where you've had made notes that you can refer back to. Also, a lot of people mention the opportunity just to meet and talk with other producers. So you'll be among a group of between 30 and 50, depending on the location that we're having it and the capacity of the location. But you'll be among 30 or up to 50 folks that are folks just like you looking to build their business. And that's always good to exchange information and talk to them about their business and learn from them what you can. So there's a lot of great benefits to joining us at Academy. We'd love to have you in there. On the other hand, if it's not a fit for you, as I've mentioned regarding that, there's plenty of folks that want to come in, so just hit no on that poll. I'm going to go ahead and close that out now. Thank you all for voting and for voting so quickly. All right, let's get moved on here. Ritz-Carlton, that's coming right up. We're going to be down in Naples, Florida, beautiful area. We'd love to have you join us down there. If you're not already well on your way, it's going to be an uphill battle because qualification for this one ends in June. Then qualification for our next one will start July 1. And we always do a great job with our trips. We go to great locations, have a great group of folks, have plenty of chances to meet and greet, and also plenty of chances for you just to rest and recharge at our summits. So we'd love to have you join us. Yeah, every piece of business that you do with IAMS has some value in counting towards a summit, whether it's a med sup or $1 million annuity, everything counts. So whatever we can do to help you grow your business and get to where you want to be, we're going to do that. And we'd love to have you join us at this summit. Again, that takes place here at the end of the summer, and qualification ends on June 30th. Oops, I don't know why I went backwards there. Move forward. So here we go. Dave, are you with us this morning?
Absolutely.
Great. I've been too talkative, so I'm going to turn this over to you quickly so we can get everybody to what they really came here to learn about, which is how to grow their business via Social Security claiming. I will put in a quick plug for Dave. He's been doing seminars for 35, going on probably 40 years now. Over 500 seminars probably at this point under his belt. Great seminar stick, as he would say. He knows all the ins and outs of seminars. We believe that's very, very important. We'll talk more about that, having somebody on your side like Dave to help with the little slick spots that you run into when you don't have somebody helping you. So he's going to be a real great asset to you, and he's going to take some time right now and give you some ins and outs of Social Security claiming, talk a little bit about seminars and how they've helped him grow his business, and give you a little opportunity to tap into that from his standpoint. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to the seminar leader, Mr. Dave Pimper.
Steve, you're very kind. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's our business is a pretty easy business. I've been in the financial service arena since 1981, and I've seen a lot of different things and still seeing different things happening with rules and regulation and products. Clients, just a lot of emotion with clients right now. So, what happens is that our business is two parts. The first part is getting in front of a qualified prospect. The second part is once you're in front of them, can you go in and present and close? I mean, it's that simple. And of those two parts, there's no doubt that the tougher one for most people in this business, either early on or later, it's getting in front of enough qualified prospects. I've been fortunate that I front-loaded my practice with getting in front of a lot of people. Seminars is my mainstay of getting in front of people. Really Social Security workshops is what I do 60-70% of the time. I have a 401k IRA rollover seminar that I put together, marketed through IAMS, through their IAMS seminar systems. There's an in-service non-hardship withdrawal. I've got 8 potential mistakes retirees make with their money. I mean, all of those, but there has not probably been, I would say, and Steve would probably agree, a better seminar system than showing Social Security. Now, when I started this 7-8 years ago, there weren't as many people in the field. Then everybody got in showing Social Security, and now it's more competitive, and there's lesser, again, people that are really showing Social Security workshops. But it's been a winner for me in the group that I coach with, and we're going to talk today about some ins and outs. So what we're trying to accomplish today for yourself, and we got a ton of people that are on the webinar, is I want to introduce you to Social Security and a little bit about the ins and outs and some of the rules. Unbelievable. It's just a little bit less. There's a little bit fewer than 2,700 rules in Social Security. Is that wild? I don't know them all, but I do know all the important ones, and those are the kind of the highlights that we're going to touch on today. We use a third-party vendor for our seminar slides called Horse's Mouth. It's $500 a year. It's like $525 a year. There's a couple good books that are very, very good reading. There's 300 pages of readable material on Social Security, but 200 of those is very good. Some good information on the new tax act that happened with Social Security in 2015 that phased out quickly, 6 months file and suspend. Restricted application is still around if you are old enough. You got to be 65 by January 1 of this year, so that's getting lesser and lesser people that qualify within those guidelines. But getting in front of people, yeah, I've done 4 shy. I'm at 496 public workshops since the mid-'80s. That sounds like a heck of a lot, but I've been pretty consistent at doing them. That's 15 to 20 seminars a year that I usually have two mailings off of each workshop, or two workshops, off of each mailing. So if you have any questions, certainly type them on in. We're going to cover this material fairly quickly. I'm not going to say you're going to understand every single thing that I'm talking about, or the intended is to educate you on Social Security. But just know you're in the financial service business. And if you don't know much about Social Security, how in the heck can the average person in the crowd that comes to this know much about Social Security? Let me tell you, they don't. There's only about 2% that could come up and give a workshop like this for the John Q. Public. There's only about 15% of advisors. And I'm talking about people at UBS and Merrill Lynch and Edward Jones, or an insurance agency, Northwestern Mutual. Very few people truly understand Social Security planning. So here we go. This is going to take about, give or take, but this is going to take about 25 minutes or so. But if you've got questions, you type them in, and then we will answer those at the end. Well, baby boomers need to know about Social Security planning. So, if we look at the ages that we're mailing to for the demographics, when should I apply for the benefits? Yeah, people want to know that. What's the best age? How can I coordinate with my spouse? What about if I take early, how much will I lose? If I wait, how much will I gain? There's a survivor benefit. There's a divorce benefit. And then I was talking about the 215, the new Social Security laws. So there's a lot of questions that come on up with Social Security planning. And what we're going to do is throughout that workshop, we're going to go in and answer those. It says Popular Social Security Strategies, Nix by Kiplinger. This is back in 2015. What it should have actually been said to be accurate, Popular Social Security Strategies phased out. Phased out, yeah. But there's a lot more than there used to be. So why Social Security seminars? It's timely. Few people understand it. We're mailing from 58 to 67. For me, that pre-retired and just retired people in transition in their job, transition maybe of where they live, transition if they work full-time, part-time, transition if they should take Social Security or not, transition of taking Medicare, It's all in this age demographic. I don't do meals. They're very educational in nature. I always say the prospects needs us more than we need them. I don't think that's true, but they'll hunt you down to get the free report, which Horse's Mouth has that software for the free report. And there's a pretty high conversion rate of setting appointments. I mean, half of the buying units that are there, I hope that I can get an appointment from, or third to a half. And the transitioning language of going from Social Security actually to the investment itself. So will Social Security be there? Yeah, you darn right it will. You know, you hear about it going bankrupt all the time, but they're talking about the trust fund. There's 2.9 trillion in the trust fund, but I'll tell you what, even if we don't do any changes to that, it will not be deleted until the year of 2035. So you're talking about 16 years out if there's no tweaks or changes, which there will be. And remember, if the trust fund is deleted of the 2.9 trillion, there's still 79% of the income is coming up from payroll taxes. That's the 6.2% that the employee pays, matched by the 6.2% that the employer pays, for 12.4%. That fund, 79%. The rest comes from the trust fund. So it's a pay-as-you-go system, you know, with FICA, Federal Insurance Contributions Act, which is the payroll taxes. Now, there's 3 ages or dates that are important for Social Security. It's the first date you can collect. What is it? 62. The last day, you better collect or you just lose the benefit. You just lose the money till you open it up to pay. That's 70. Those 8 years, and there's one in the middle called full retirement age. If you're born 1954 or earlier, your full retirement age is 66. For every year, like I was born in 1955 in April, so it's 6 years and 2 months. Then in 56, it's 4 months. In 57, it's 6 months. 1960 or later, it's 67. A baby born today, their full retirement age is 67. Why is full retirement age important? The reason it's important is that everything is calculated from that age. It's not recalculated from 62 or from 70. So if you take earlier than full retirement age, there's a reduction. You get the benefit now, but there is a reduction. If you take later than full retirement age, you know what happens? Then there's an increase in the amount that you get, but you're not getting it earlier. Okay? And we talked about, here it is. If you take it 62, if you're born between 46 and 54, what happens is that, you know, you're going to go on in and you're going to get the benefit of a decrease. If it's 1943 to 1954, you're going to get a decreased benefit of 25%. See that FRA, full retirement age, 66, 62, 75%, that's a 25% discount. If you have a $2,000 benefit, it's only going to be $1,500, isn't it? That's exactly right. But if you wait longer, this is called delayed retirement credit. So you're delaying, it's a retirement credit. If you don't take the benefit at 66 and you wait to 67, it's guaranteed to grow 8%. Guaranteed by the U.S. government. Nothing safer. Next year it grows 8%. Next year it goes 8%. Next year it grows 8%. At 70, you have to take, or you lose your benefit. You just don't get your benefit. It's a pretty big deal. And remember, cost of living is on top of it. Cost of living over the last 50 years has averaged about 3.5%. The last 10 years have been very low inflation, so the cost of living has been small. There's been a cost of living benefit with Social Security since 1975 that was enacted by Congress to pay it on an annual basis. There were some before that, but it was done year to year, and it had to be brought up, of course, in Congress and voted on. But now it's automatic. There's been 3 years where there's been no cost of living increase with Social Security. It's been 2010, 2011, and 2016. Other than that, every single year since 1975, there's been a cost of living increase with Social Security. Now, what happens is, I always tell people, where can you get a guarantee of 8% increase in your income guaranteed for life that has a spousal benefit? It has a survivor benefit. It has a divorced benefit. It has a divorce survivor benefit. It has a child benefit. It has a disability benefit. I mean, where do you find that in a commercial annuity? Can you say you don't? No, you don't. Now, when you die, and if it goes to your wife and she dies, and then can it go to the kids? No. There's no passing on of benefits. I had a coaching call this morning with a fella, and he was just we were talking about the difference of this, because this is nothing but a lifetime annuity from the United States government. I mean, you pay into it, half of it. Your employer pays in half. But it's a heck of a benefit. Do you know that if you have 90% that pays out from I'm switching gears here a little bit. If 90% pays out from a nonprofit organization, 10% is used for expenses, which includes salaries and overhead, etc. That's pretty good. You know what? Social Security pays out of a nearly $1 trillion they bring in a year, they pay out 99% of it. And if you go down to the Social Security Administration office, you'll probably know they're probably understaffed, they're probably undertrained, but 99%. So not often does Dave Pimper go in and compliment a government program, but when this was started by Franklin Delano Roosevelt in 1935, I will tell you right now, it at that time during the Depression, over 70% of the people were in a poverty state, had no money, normally living off a family. Just jobs weren't there. That's why this was enacted, and I'll tell you, I think it's the greatest social program in the world. Think about it, almost $3 trillion of money in the trust fund right now. If you have any questions, simply type those on in. So what we're going to go through here is, and quickly, what are the spousal benefits? I know there's certainly detours and there's other things you can do, but John's primary insurance amount, that PIA stands for the amount at full retirement age, is $2,000. Jane's PIA is $800 primary insurance amount. Let's say they're 66 years of age. Say Jane applies and John applies for their benefit. John gets $2,000, Jane gets $800, but Jane, the lower of the two, has an option. They can take all of theirs, which is $800 for Jane, or they can take half of the spouse, which is John's. Half of 2,000 is 1,000. 1,000 is 200 more than 800. Jane says, heck, I'll just put my 800 to the side and take that $1,000. There's a 2% top up. That's what we call it, a top up. 2% more money, $200 more money with the spousal benefit. Pretty cool. Now, John has to apply for his Social Security benefit for Jane to go in and get a top up of $200. If Jane takes hers $800 and John says, hey, I'm going to wait for the 8% delayed retirement credits, no, then Jane just gets $800. The earliest that she could go in and get to jump up to 1,000 would be if he waited for 4 years. Because at 4 years he's 70. At 70 you have to start taking. Now hers jumps up to 800. It has to be requested. It's not done automatically. Spousal benefit. How about divorce spouse benefit? True or false? Married couples have more options when it comes to Social Security than singles. If you said true, you are correct. Married couples have more options than a single person, whether it be widowed or divorced or just never married. But I call this the triple play in the divorced spouse benefit arena. Your marriage lasted 10 years. Okay. You are currently unmarried. Yep. And thirdly, your ex has to be at least 62 years of age or older. If those three things line up, you can treat your ex, no matter how much you dislike them. You can treat them exactly as if you're still married to them for Social Security purposes. Married 10 years, you're currently unmarried, your ex is at least 62. Makes no difference if your ex is taking, but he's at least 62. Then it's as if you're married. If your divorced spouse is deceased, now there's survivor benefits that come in. You can take as early at a 28.5% discount at 70. You could go in and take the divorced deceased spouse's benefit. You could take that benefit all the way up to 70 if you wanted to, as your benefit increases the entire time, and then turn your benefit on later. How cool is that? Not cool that your divorced ex died, but how cool is it as far as the benefit? Yeah, pretty cool. And here we do talk a little bit about survivor benefit. So also, listen to this. Let's say that Joe's benefits $2,000, Julie's benefits $1,200. They're both full retirement age. Remember, they're born from 43 to 64. It's age 66. Say they were born in 1952. Okay, so Joe's benefits $2,000, Julie's benefits $1,200. And I always say this in the workshop: who dies first? Normally, people are married. The guy or the gal? The guy. The guy normally dies first, the male. You know why that is? Because he elects to. Everyone laugh. This is a webinar. It's supposed to be funny. I say that, and I don't get a big belly laugh, but it is kind of a joke. Yeah. So Joe's benefits $2,000. He dies. Julie has the option of keeping hers or dropping hers and taking Joe's. Well, of course, it's $800 more. She's going to take Joe's. She drops hers. The family benefit does go down from $3,200 down to $2,000 because she drops her $1,200, but it's still a heck of a lot better than if it dropped down to $1,200, just hers. It has to be requested. It's not done automatically like a spousal benefit. So we're talking about coordinating spousal benefits. There's something called file and suspend, was phased out in 6 months after the 2015 Bipartisan Budget Act, which was about 264 pages. They were hidden in that and a couple pages on this. They kind of slipped it into us. But file and suspend has been exhausted now for 2.5, 3 years. Restricted application, if you were born before January the 2nd of 1954, that means that you're 65 years of age, you can restrict your application if it makes sense. And if it does, it's pretty cool what you can do. Let's just go talk about restricted application. You have Mike and Mary. They're both 66 years of age. Mike's PIA, primary insurance amount, is $2,000. Mary's PIA is $800, her primary insurance amount. Mary files for her benefit. Mike doesn't need, he's still working. He wants to let us grow the 8% in inflation, just like we talked about before. But with restricted application, remember, he has to be 65 this year, born after or born before February or before January the 2nd, born before that. Mike goes in, starts his in the eyes of Social Security, stops it simultaneously. It's called restricted application. Now he is open to request for a spousal benefit. With restricted application, it is a taker of the spousal benefit. Mike takes half. A spousal benefit is always half. Mike takes half of Mary's $400. He gets $400 each month now from a spousal benefit. Mary gets $800 each month from her full benefit. That's $1,200. Now Mike has restricted, so he stopped it, now started it. He continues to earn the 8%. Now I know that's a lot of moving parts, but believe me, if it fits, it's like Cinderella's red slipper. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing for them because that's a free $400 a month, which is $4,800 a year, which is $19,200 if you do it over 4 years, free money. And then when Mike turns his on at 70, remember, she could have got half of his, but she took hers, and in the eyes, he's really not collecting from Social Security. That's in the eyes. So she doesn't go and jump up to half of his, but at 70 now she can. She will get $200 more. Now I know this is kind of confusing, and I try to keep it simple. But when we coach together, I have 5 coachings. When we coach together, I do it much slower. We role play, you understand. Remember, Social Security can't offer advice. They can give you the highest benefit right now. That really opens up for financial advisors like ourselves to give them advice of scenarios when to plan. I was so happy when I found this. Comes right from the Social Security Administration website of taking the claim. Look at D. Provide enough information so the claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. I love it. I talk about the 5 pillars of income in the workshop, and we do this also when we get one-on-one. It uncovers of what we can work with. But I talk about their work, their pensions, income-producing assets, RMDs, and Social Security. When I talk about income-producing assets, we're talking about 401ks, IRAs, SEP Simples, 403bs, HR plans, brokerage accounts, real estate, life insurance cash value, bank accounts, annuities, everything they got. So you know what? I have all their assets, and I'm kind of look for the low-hanging fruit. I mean, they had one, which is pretty, anything over $1 million is a good amount of money in Omaha, Nebraska. But they had $1.4 million of assets. He's retiring at the end of July. She's going to work one more year. He's 62. They had Social Security questions. He's got an IRA right now. It happens to be with Edward Jones. And the only reason he's there, it's in Phoenix, and he lives in Omaha, and he just, he doesn't have anyone here to help him with that. And so he says, would you be open? He said, yes. And I said, for all of it or a portion? Well, a portion, how much? 500,000. So I'm proposing on 500,000. Will I get it? And I think there's a 50-50 chance. They like me. The rapport was good, and I can help him. And they have a very bad. He's getting much more conservative. They have a stable income fund. It's not guaranteed, though it's basically is, but it's a stable income fund, and it's paying out 1.42%, and he's got he'd like to have the share of money there, So, but that's what this does. It uncovers. You really don't make. It's how Social Security complements all the other things. Social Security is by far the most flexible. Think about it. You let it go 2,000. I mean, and with cost of living at 2-3%, 2,000 goes well over 3,000 in 4 years. I mean, it's $1,000 pension in 4 years. You can't do that with any retailing company. No, you can't. So that's pretty cool. That's where I really find the money out. We use horse's mouth. The main reason we do it, it's for the calculator. But they also have some great reading material, and they have webinars from time to time. I said I've given over 480 public workshops because this was done 5-6 months ago, maybe a year ago. Yeah, I've been 496 public workshops. Another thing too is you have attachments that come. It's a turnkey system, no meals, ongoing support by me. And there's a lot of stuff that I bring to the table. I get paid by coaching. I don't get paid by an override or a hierarchy in your commission structure. I charge $150 per session. We coach for 5 sessions. Your cost would be $750, but as long as you qualify, there's contracts with IAMS. We think that you're going to do business through IAMS, and you're capable if you're not already doing that. Yeah, IAMS goes in and pays $555 of the $195. You pay of the $750. So they pay $555. You pay $195 for the 5 coaching sessions, and I'm at your beck and call within reason to ask me questions or go over things. And then we will not coach without seminar setup. You can be the smartest guy in the world, but if you're not getting in front of enough people, then it's just like getting in front of nobody. You'll make no money. Okay? So it says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Tomorrow? Tomorrow never comes, does it? If you heard something today that you say, hey, I'd like to talk to Dave Pimper. It's not going to be one of my cohorts. It's going to be me. You need to mark yes on this, which is going to come up here just in a second. Steve will put it on up. But it's a survey. Would you like more information on seminar coaching? And the big thing on this is it says 2 for 1. The first thing is you're going to learn Social Security from me. And I'm going to be a resource for you that you can call me anytime that you want to within reason. And I'm going to give you the answer of that. And what happens is you're also going to do a seminar, and I don't care if you've done seminars before and didn't have luck. That happens from time to time, but our system's pretty well proven. It's good. I just had a seminar. I got 10 appointments from it. I'm very happy about it. So if you mark yes, we're going to talk about 25-30 minutes on the phone. Lynn or Lori or Amy, one of my administrators, will give you a call on Monday. What day is today? Tuesday. I get my days mixed up here by age. It's Tuesday. They'll call you tomorrow on Wednesday. So please, if you mark yes and they call, please take it or call them right back. We don't want this. If you mark yes, yeah, hey, I want to talk to Dave. Don't change your mind. I mean, I'm trying to preserve time for me and preserve time for yourself. I mean, we're busy. I'm busy. I've got appointments almost this whole day today. So please, if you mark yes, answer the phone call, set up the appointment, and let's talk. Let's talk about what you do, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, how maybe marketing or seminar marketing, or specifically Social Security seminar marketing could fit into your marketing plan to get in front of more qualified prospects. Steve, I'm going to hand this over to you. I'm actually going into Omaha here in about 5 minutes, so because I have an appointment at 11:30. So let's answer any quick questions that they may have asked.
Thanks, Dave. Great job as always. And you must have done a pretty good job because the questions are fairly minimal. And there's one that I really can't tell for sure what you're asking, William. So if you want to re-ask that in the context of the webinar, please just add a little bit more color to that. I'll see if I can get it asked of Dave. Otherwise, so there's 2 or 3 folks that are wondering about costs of the seminar. I know you went through what the cost of the coaching is. So when you do a seminar, what are your hard costs on a seminar?
Yeah, hard costs are going to be about $3,500.
Okay.
$3,500. Now, I will say this, Steve, and you might want to say something on this too. You're always testing marketing ideas, aren't you?
Yes, all the time.
Yes, all the time. You've done this forever, and you're old. You've done it a long time.
Thanks.
Almost 30 years for yourself.
Yeah.
And Steve is co-owner of the firm. He really runs the front-end sales shop, of IAMS, which has been around since 1986. Charles Hiring is the original owner. He's still a co-partner, with Steve, and really day-to-day, which you don't see that very often in today's business. And what happens is we're right now, I just did the first seminar. It was done strictly by social media, all Facebook advertising. And Steve, you know what? For the first one, I mean, I was pretty happy with it. I think there's some tweaks we can do. I got 10 appointments, and I'm going to see how good the quality, but we're actually testing that at least one more time. I think we're going to test it in the month of June. But if we roll that out, instead of $3,500, it's going to probably cost maybe $2,200 or $2,300 because you don't have the hard printing cost. And Steve, that first test, how did you feel about that?
Oh, I thought based on our experience and what you let me know about the quality of the folks, if you can get that group of people in for basically about half the cost, I don't know why we wouldn't continue to do that. I'm
right.
not, doing it in Omaha is probably going to be different than doing it in a much smaller town, and certainly a lot different than doing it in a much larger area. So,
right.
You're going to get better results, I think, in a larger metro area than in a smaller one for sure. So.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Yeah. In fact, if like Fremont, Nebraska is 26,000, I'm doing a workshop here. I got one in 2 weeks, and that was from a hard mailing. And the reason is because with Facebook, there has to be more. I mean, you just don't shoot out 6,000. You shoot out more than that, way more than that. I mean, you're really covering. I mean, everyone who has a Facebook account, which is basically 8 billion people. Everybody's got.
Yeah.
It seems like a Facebook account. And I was surprised. People my age that have grandchildren, that's how they stay up with everything.
Sure.
And so anyway, it's a very interesting. And the people that we're working with, they're really experts. He's actually a financial advisor. He did work actually for another marketing firm. So we're probably going to test that one more time, but that certainly could save some cost down the road. So that's to be continued.
And right, Dave, 3,000 of that 3,500 cost is the actual, printing and mailing. So, if we can save some
Actually,
of that.
it's more. Actually, yeah, that's right. You're right. So what happens is there's $100 for the 800 number, and then if there's any cost to rent the library or the educational school room, like I have to have a business card to go. I mean, not business card. I've got to have a library card to go into the libraries there. So no, I mean it's going to save us. It would save us over $1,000. It might be even $1,200. It would save us after it's all said and done. And if we can do that, yeah, we will roll that out. So we're actually looking. We could roll that out mid to late summer. I just have to go in. They're using me as the guinea pig, and And I want to see the quality of those appointments. I want to see how much business I write. I'd like to do that a couple times, and once that's done, then we'll make a decision whether we roll it out. So that's a nice thing about there are some marketing firms, FMOs, they get a good idea, they don't test it, they just roll it. I mean, we test things because we want our producers to be able to have a track record that has some background, have some success before we roll it out to the mass group.
So that gives you the idea of the cost, and then another, the questions about what, and I have some experience with kind of what your results have been from the seminars in terms of ROI. Have you put the rough number to it, Dave? Do you have an idea what you can expect?
Yeah, I won't say the return on investment. I mean, you can go because I do some securities fee-based business also. What happens is there's no doubt that from a commission side, there's more commissions normally in insurance products because of regulation than what there is on a broker-dealer product security. But if I can get $250,000 to $300,000, that's under management of some way, either with annuities or with securities. That's about what it is. It certainly covers my costs and my return on that investment. I don't know exactly what it is because part of that goes into fee-based. If there's not an upfront commission, you can certainly get 5, 6, 7% on commission on that. If it was all with insurance, if you've got 300,000 at 6,000, that's 6%. Of the fixed index, that would be 18,000. I'd be happy with that, and the cost of the cost could be 2,000-3,000. That seems like a huge return. But even if you get 100,000, which would seem low to me at 6%, if it costs you 3,000, 3,500, that's almost double of what. So it doesn't take a lot. But you know what it takes, Steve? It takes a system.
Right.
It takes something that's proven. It takes something where you can go back. Like if you get a set of instructions, I'll never forget Amy and I probably drank too much wine that night, but it was Christmas Eve, and we're putting together some dang swing set downstairs for our little kids that were 4 years and 1 year old or 1.5. And I'm telling you what, I mean, it had the instructions, but it probably took us 2.5. It said on the, now again, I'm not saying we're the sharpest tools in the shed. Amy is, I'm not. But it took us forever. It took us probably 2.5 hours, and it said it's supposed to take like an hour. But you know what? If you had someone there that had put together 10 of those, you know what? It probably would have took us a half an hour. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm the coach. I help the person through seminar systems. So if you've done seminars and didn't have as much success, you probably didn't have someone hand-holding you through using a track record that works. So I think that's something IAMS, Dave Pimper IAMS, has that most FMOs do not have. I'm not a mentor. You come in and look at me and watch me produce big time. I'm with you hand in hand of getting this seminar as successful as we can.
Dave, I know you've got a couple things going. There's a couple other questions here that I can answer. So if you need to take off, you can say goodbye. I'll finish up with these questions.
Okay. And I appreciate being on the webinar with everybody. Steve will finish up the webinar. Thank you very much for attending. Have a very productive week. I hope we talk. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dave. Have a great appointment. So the other couple questions that I have, and I've been working with Dave and working with our guys doing Social Security for long enough that I think I can answer these fairly easily. So in terms of what you can expect from group size, it depends a little bit on what you're willing to spend. We have guys that send out anywhere from 5,000 pieces to 7,000, 8,000 pieces to fill their rooms up differently. Most guys are running 2 seminars from that. You all know what the cost of a mailer is, and so that gives you an idea of the volume that we use. And then you're talking about having anywhere from 10, 11 buying units all the way to as high as maybe 25 buying units, 20, 25 buying units at any one seminar. And usually when you do seminars, you're doing it like a Tuesday, Thursday. So you're doing 2 seminars from one mailing. So that gives you an idea of how many people you can expect to be presenting in front of. In terms of their question here is, I've done Social Security seminars in the past and haven't had success with them. It's not going to work for everybody, but in terms of overall success, we've had better success with Social Security seminars across the board with all of our customers, all of our producers like you all out in the field than we have with any other seminar that we've done. And the reason I think that is true is because it really isn't a showman type seminar at all. It's just really more of a teaching and learning seminar. So you really, you're not taking questions. You really don't want to take any questions at all, very few questions at the seminar itself. You're really closing for that appointment. You're going through some slides that are very, very solid and good information for folks to help help them understand how Social Security claiming works and what the potential pitfalls are and how to avoid them. And then you're setting the appointment, and at the appointment you're moving from here's how your Social Security, this is what I can help you with, here's the information I need to give you the best opportunity to elect the right Social Security payout, and this is how it works. And for most people, you're probably going to get appointments with about, depending on how you do it, realistically, I think you can expect 25 to 50% of the buying units there you can expect to get appointments from. So I think that answers all the questions, unless there's some more have come in. Cost of coaching. Okay. So the cost of coaching, I think Dave went through a little bit of that. I think what you're expecting is that there would be more ongoing costs of the coaching, and there are some ongoing costs of the coaching, which we here at IAMS take care of on your behalf. There's no doubt that the first 4 or 5 groups of seminars that you do on Social Security claiming, you're going to want, the questions are going to come up. So the first one is going to be, you're going to get 75% of your questions answered. The second group of seminars, you're probably going to get another 10 or 12%. And then the next 3 seminars, you're just going to run into little one-off questions about Social Security. So you're going to need some ongoing coaching to be successful. We do not offer seminars anymore that do not have ongoing coaching as part of the plan, because there's just too much opportunity for failure that comes in with just a little miss thing here, a little miss thing there, and so we just don't do it. We don't want to subject our customers and have our customers unhappy with their experience because of some little thing that got missed. And Dave and his team are experts in making sure that no little things get missed that can cause a big problem. Now, have there still been things that have happened from time to time where something goes a little awry and you miss something that maybe cost you an appointment here or there, or cost you a sale, God forbid? Those are going to come up. But what coaching does is eliminate about 95% of the problems that you can run into that are going to cause you to incur too much expense or cause you not to get as many sales or as many appointments or as many closes as you possibly can. So we will not do any seminars without coaching anymore. We did that for the first couple of years that we did seminars, and just too much happened that was negative. That you just, like Dave said, there's too much opportunity for a mistake being made, and mistakes in this business can be very costly. It can be the difference between, a $7,000 to $8,000 commission and not worth taking that chance. So we take care of the ongoing costs of the coaching. There's a little upfront cost, which Dave went through. And really, from our standpoint, that's just to make sure that everybody's all bought in. We know that after you do 2 or 3 seminars, you're going to say, oh, okay, I see how this works now, and I can see how this is going to grow my business. We just want to make sure that because if there was no cost to it, everybody do it. And we don't want that. We want people that are committed to the process, understand that, there's a need to be committed for not just 1, not just 2, but no matter what you're doing marketing wise, you have to give it a chance to have that momentum grow. And so doing 1 seminar, you might get a sale, you might get 2 sales, but that's not what we're talking about for success in the seminar business. Success in the seminar business is that you get a sale or 2, and then 2 months later from your first seminar, you got another client calling you, recommending somebody, and now you've got that 3rd and 4th and 5th seminar that you've done, and you've got more clientele. Anybody that says, do a seminar, make $1 million, and that's not it. It is a momentum and referral and ongoing notoriety in your area, and ongoing, you're now the expert in your area in a given field that people can refer you to and can come back to you for questions. And somebody that was at your seminar, Dave had this happen, mentioned it to me a couple of weeks ago. Somebody was at a seminar 2 years ago, and then they got another invitation to a seminar. It reminded them that Dave was that guy that gave them that great information, and now they're ready to make some decisions, so they go back to Dave. That's how seminars actually work. Regardless of what people tell you, our competitors tell you about, hey, do 1 seminar and close 15 sales. That's not realistic. We're not going to mislead you. We're not going to tell you something that's not going to be true. Here at IAMS, we're in the business for the long haul. So if this is something that is of interest to you for the long haul, certainly check yes if you haven't already. We'd love to have you join us. I'd love to be a value to you on your team at your agency. I know that there are a couple more specific questions that have come up that we didn't get answered. Certainly, I hope you will call here at the office, talk to myself. I'll put you in touch with Dave if need be. The number here is 800-255-5055. Again, my name is Steve Murray. However I can help you, glad to do it. That's what we're all about here at IAMS. We are all about the long-term growth of your business, because that's how we gain success here. And so let us know how we can help you with that. Thank you for joining us here this morning. We've gone a couple minutes over time, and that was mostly because I was too talkative at the beginning. I apologize for that. But thank you for joining us today. Have a great day, great finish to your sales week. I'm going to see a couple of you at our upcoming Life and Annuity Academy. Looking forward to seeing you there. And looking forward to seeing some of the other ones at the Ritz down in Naples here towards the end of the summer, early fall. And for those of you that are trying to make decisions whether or not to do business with IAMS, I would certainly like the chance to call you one-on-one here at the office, number 800-255-5055. Look forward to doing business together. Have a great finish to your sales week. Thank you all.